And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, a consumer quarterback show helping you win in any marketplace. We're going to educate, entertain, enlighten. Most importantly, we want to engage with you so that we can help you win 80 categories of consumer advocate advice right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, always helping you understand more about your buying decisions with an effort to help you win when it comes to your negotiations, your consumer advocacy. We're always going to help you win.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. You can call or text our off-air line. Any comments, questions, concerns you have with the show, we'd love to hear from you. We've got an uptick of calls lately. We really appreciate you reaching out, engaging with us. That's why we do this show, to help you understand more about your buying decisions, avoid a lot of the commission-based advice that is so prevalent in our community. This segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Lucky Dill. They've got a deli, New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery, catering, and banquets, and it's home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. And the food is excellent. The staff is amazing. Very friendly staff there. Check out LuckyDillDeli.com or visit them at Boy Scout Boulevard in Tampa, US 19 in Palm Harbor. The Lucky Dill Deli and Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want you to save the date as well. Coming up Thursday, June 27th, 6 p.m., Tampa Bay's largest speed networking event, 2.0. This is the 2.0 version of the Tampa Bay's largest speed networking event. It's going to be at the Verizon Center in Largo. Networking, catered food, DJ, bartenders. We got a lot of fun lined up for you here for Tampa Bay's largest speed networking event. And we also have the Bilmar Beach Resort gave a weekend stay. We're going to be having an awesome raffle. Any business owners that want to enter the raffle, we're going to be raffling off items to benefit Children's Cancer Center. So we're partying with a purpose here, and we are raising money for Children's Cancer Center at Tampa Bay's largest speed networking event. It's the 2.0 version on June 27th. Save that date. It's a Thursday. We would love to see you there. And this is Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Back in studio, Connor Keller, Insect IQ. Welcome back, sir.
Hello, Brandon. How you doing?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
Oh, great. It's good to be here.
Yeah, man. Been a little while since you've been in studio. I know you've been running around the state taking care of bugs and termites and bats and honeybees and all kinds of stuff out there.
Let's just say business is buzzing.
Yeah, buzzing business. I like that. Yeah,
Coin that phrase.
Yes, exactly. So you're helping people, homeowners, business owners, with their all types of insects.
Yeah, definitely. Drywood termites are at the forefront right now. I think they're swarming a little early, so they're very visible. Drywood termites do a lot of damage, but over decades. But the real problem is they go unnoticed. So I'd like to talk about how to find the evidence and what to do about it today.
I like that. That's good. I'm glad you brought those pictures in today, too, as well, for those watching our TV show version. We're going to put some pictures up on the screen so you can see what they actually look like under a microscope. So that's going to be really cool for people
Correct.
to see. Awesome. Good stuff. Tina Russell in the house. Welcome back.
Thank you, Brandon. I'm so glad to be here again.
Envisionit home staging.
Yes. I'm so excited to just simply, as you were saying, just help the consumers out today and just share, some information, give them facts, some statistics today, whether you're an investor or whether you have a home that is, over 500,000, on the market right now. And it's, seems like it's, just sitting there and not, getting too much traffic going on. I just want to be able to share, my insight on that and, hopefully help them out.
Yeah, I love that. Studies show, the statistics show, where if you are staging a home, a staged home is going to sell faster for more money. You're going to be less days on the market, and it's ultimately that's what most sellers want.
Yes,
get the house sold.
Yes, and even the homes that are typically 3,500 square feet or more, or 5,000 square feet or more. A lot of times people think, oh, well, I don't need to stage this house. It's really nice. It's, got the large rooms, but reality is that, it needs to have that feel, when you walk into the home, to be able to show, that you can fit, furniture in the room so that it doesn't look like empty space, know.
Right.
Or sometimes maybe you'll have, a odd room, in those kind of homes. And so I like to go in and, just really change the perspective and help people see that, even if your home is priced at $500,000 or even $850,000 and you think it will sell itself, sometimes it doesn't, because people can't get a vision when they walk in the home.
That's true, especially on an expired listing. I like to talk about repackaging and representing that property back to the marketplace. So stay with us on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings here. What I want to do is tell you about this property in Odessa. This is 12610 Port Marnock Drive in Odessa. Gorgeous property. And if you see the Fabre Framework Photography, they did a great job with the drone video and photography here. You can see that there's water views in the front and back of the property. It's on a golf course at Turnberry at the Eagles. And we just reduced the property as well. The price is reduced down close to just above $500,000. Got a pool and a spa at this beautiful property at 12610 Port Marnock Drive in Odessa. A great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Also got a waterfront property at 223 South River Hills Drive. Now this one is in Temple Terrace. This property, it's on the river, on the Hillsborough River, and it is a stunning 5-bedroom, 2.5-bath, single-family home situated on a conservation lot on the Hillsborough River, almost a half an acre lot in the heart of Temple Terrace. Check out all of our properties at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, let's jump right into it. We got Connor Keller in the house. I'm dying to see these pictures. You brought pictures for us. I love that. Of course, we got the Apple TV, Amazon, Roku now version of our show on Binge Networks. All you have to do is on your smart device, search up Binge Networks, and then you'll find the Consumer Quarterback Show there. So let's throw some of these pictures up. I'm dying to see some of them. So what does an actual termite look like under a microscope? Is that it right there?
Yeah, that's actually termite, alate, or swarmer. Termites are social insects. They have queens, workers, different classes of insects within the colony. Once the colony matures in a structure, half the colony, some of the workers grow wings and leave the colony in a swarm. With drywood termites, they swarm in the evening. At night, a lot of times you'll see them flying around the lights. This is their fecal pellets. So you'll find this too. You'll find the little frass or fecal pellets piled up in the windowsills, along the baseboards. Of course, this is under 10 times magnification, so you can really see the indentations around the.
For context, what is that?
So it's a picture frame. So this was in a picture frame. You can see the particle board backing, and that was the clasp. And this was in a customer's house. This was out in Valrico, and this house is just loaded with drywood termites.
Wow.
It's probably they've been aware of it for a very long time and neglected to do anything about it. There's a cool picture of the body with wings. One thing about drywood termites, one of their key identifiers is the time of year that they're swarming. You can get confused because we also have an invasive species of subterranean termites that are in the state now. Actually, I heard about them on the news the other night. Super termites, Formosan and Asian termites. They came from China, of course, like everything else is imported. So
the drywall and everything.
I wonder if they're going to put tariffs on those.
Tariffs on
drywood or on Formosan termites. That would be great.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the wings themselves, you can tell by the veins along the leading edge. Drywood termites are going to have 2 or more veins along the leading edge, where subterranean termites will generally have 1, or you can't delineate how many veins they have at all. Subterranean termites, there's so much information. I could just go on and on and on about this, but subterranean termites swarm in the spring, January, February, and March, and then drywood termites are swarming right now, and that's really what we're dealing with. You may see, you think the circus is in town because everybody's putting tents on their houses, but the truth is they're getting treated or fumigated for drywood termites.
Wow. Well, if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here. We're talking with Connor Keller, Insect IQ, all Florida honeybee removal as well. Does a great job with all types of stinging insects. These nuisances that you have around your home, your business. These are ways that you can contact Connor. He's like a walking encyclopedia, this guy.
I love what I do.
Very knowledgeable.
Yeah, I'm passionate about it. I also pulled about a 4-foot diamondback rattlesnake out of a classroom in Hillsborough County.
Wow.
The other day, so that's something new. I don't see a lot of diamondback rattlesnakes anymore. But this year this is the third one since January that I've seen.
Because we're building in their habitat, right? I mean, the development, it's a part of progress. It's that fine balance between, humans and how we want to grow and build. And then, of course, we're invading their habitat in a lot of cases.
Well, I'd also like to think that conservation efforts are paying off now and their populations are going up. And a lot of that has to do with habitat destruction. Mm-hmm. I think like everything in nature, it's cyclical and their populations go up and down depending on food and resources and habitat. Yeah. And we just have to be good stewards of our environment and be careful about where we build and how we build and what we do with what's there already.
I love watching, different Amazons, and it's a lot of smart TVs now. I think it's Amazon Prime that has that the series called The Planet. Have you ever watched that?
That's Netflix, and I have a story about that.
It's amazing. It's amazing to watch that. My dog, he loves to see some of the animals running and stuff. Like he perks up, and it's funny to see the dog actually watching TV.
It's beautiful cinematography, but there's a lot of opinion instead of scientific fact in that show.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, it's more of propaganda than it is an actual. You would expect from National Geographic or someone like that to put out a show like that and give you scientific fact. Yeah. But recently I've heard stories where they were staging things to film. There was something in the news about walruses in South America that were jumping off a cliff and dying. That. Well, it turns out there were witnesses that showed like the cameraman was blocking the path for the walruses to come back down. And polar bears were attacking them from the back. But it just doesn't make as good cinematography as. So you really just have to consider the source. Yeah. Again, it's a beautiful show. I'm not bashing it.
There's bias everywhere, isn't there?
Just listen to the message. That's all I have to say. It's
like everywhere you look, there's bias or commission-based advice, and that's why we set this show up, just to be, Tampa-based version of that, straight to the point of, here's what you need to know, here's what you should consider, and by the way, don't listen to this type of a talking head over here, so you got to be careful.
You stick to the facts.
That's right.
That's what you got to do.
That's right. Absolutely. All right, we got Connor Keller in the house, Insect IQ, and also Tina Russell, Envisionit Home Staging, right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us when we come back. More from our expert contributors. Also, coming up, we have a feel-good story of the day for you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm the owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And we got a great team at Keller Williams Realty helping you, whether you're buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. We've been growing our team as well. We had a lot of people reaching out wanting to join the team, and been doing a lot of interviews. Lindsay also does feng shui. She is a feng shui specialist. And that kind of goes hand in hand with what Tina's doing as well when it comes to feng shui. It's a little different type of practice, I guess, when it comes to that, but dealing more with the home clearing and energy healing, couples healing. She also does the healing side of that business. But so that leads right into our conversation with Tina Russell here in studio. So Envisionit Home Staging, and when it comes to the interior of the home, it really has to have a certain flow to it. It needs to be modernized.
Yes.
Lighters seems to be in more so than the darks. What are you seeing out there?
Yes, absolutely. Sticking with neutral colors, the creams, the beiges, light gray. Maybe you can contrast, one wall with a dark gray. Just colors like that. Blues, very light blues are, still trendy right now. But every home that we go into, again, it all is based on the character of the home. And we just go in and we just, try to give it a fresh appeal, to every potential, buyer that walks through that door, and the benefits of home staging is really, it pays the stage, and it really will draw more traffic to your home.
Yeah, it does. So when it comes to that, do people see a return, a direct cash on cash return on the investment? They do, right?
Oh, absolutely, if not more. And the beauty of it is, a lot of times people think that, if you have a home, that is $500,000 or more on the market right now, a lot of times they're thinking, well, it's just going to sell itself because it's, maybe it doesn't need, the cosmetics too much inside. Maybe, it's, the paint has been done, etc. But the home is empty, and when the home is empty, people can't go in and really, envision themselves there sometimes because the rooms are so big because you have a lot more square footage.
Right.
Other times it may be, where it really looks like a wasted space. And so I, really, just encourage, my clients, that, the understanding that it really does pay to stage, because when you have a home that is, let's say the 500,000 mark, typically the statistics are that they will get an offer of approximately 6% higher. So we're talking $30,000, higher potentially when you stage your home.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those studies that National Association of Realtors have done studies on this. And in Gary Keller's book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and also the recent book is The Shift, talking about the market shift that's going on. He specifically cites the question is not what type of staging, but or to stage or not to stage. It's like what type of staging. Like you have to stage these days. Yes,
you have to stage these days. If you don't, I try to really just open up their mindsets of clients. A lot of times, maybe it may be they don't have a budget, or maybe they do have a budget, but they really don't see the value in staging. They don't, they really don't want to deal with it. And so we come in and we really handle the whole process to where even if they've already relocated to another state, and try to make that process easier. But, if you just really think about it, when you're, even yourself or myself, or our family driving, on a Sunday drive, and we may see an open house, I want to go see a home that's staged. My kids even, I can keep them entertained a little bit if a home is staged, know. And so, but then you go down the road, to the next home and it's not staged. Well, now the kids are complaining, you get all the drama going on. I mean, really, reality is people, when they walk in a home, they need to feel something. They need to envision themselves there. And that's what staging really does. And it ends up, being where it will help them make a decision. A lot of people, they get overwhelmed in looking at homes. I don't know if I like this one over that one. And when you have a home that is staged, sometimes that is all it takes to really cause that conversion to take place,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, Tina, when we look at staging a home, let's say the seller has a $500,000 home, waterfront, beautiful property, and they are considering listing the property.
Yes.
So they say, they come to me and they talk about how the comps, they want to look at the comps, they want to price it sometimes above the comps, and I understand that from a negotiation standpoint, leave a little room for negotiation, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to the conversation of staging,
yes.
Some of the sellers, they I don't want to spend the money. They think about the money, they focus on the upfront cost.
Correct.
What would be your response to them if you have that opportunity to speak to them at that point?
Well, at this point, I would say, our company, we can offer several options to help you out on the on the upfront cost. You could also, possibly, depending on, again, the needs of this particular client, but we would be able to, help them out to where they wouldn't have to pay so much on the front end. We could wait till the home sells on the back end at closing. That is a possibility if they need that. And also, just basically giving them scenarios. Once again, this is what it would cost to stage your home for a couple of months. And let's look at the positive side of, how we're going to maximize your profits potentially. So, of course, it's an investment, but isn't any investment a risk, that you're going to take. But I've never seen it not be to the advantage of our clients.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And it gives you an idea of the days on the market, too. We're in the middle of a shift right now, so the market is shifting.
Yes.
Luckily, we've been blessed with another dip in interest rates. We've had a dip in rates of about a 25% dip over the last couple of years. Even so, we're at a 2-year low when we were already at 40-year lows.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So we're compounding opportunity here for people, and that's what a lot of times when we have our mortgage partners on the show or title company, talking about the market. I like to really think about the advantage of hitting the market strong, hitting the market hard. That's why we utilize professional photography. Shout out to Fabre Frameworks, professional photography, video walkthroughs.
Yes, absolutely.
We utilize the drone shots as well.
Yes.
And there's also virtual staging opportunities, but this doesn't get the virtual opportunity doesn't do the same thing as when they walk into the home.
Yes, by no means.
Yeah.
Again, when you're walking into the home, we are emotionally based. Women are, but men are too. They got to see a visual. And what I like to say is, even when we went home shopping several times, I got to walk in that home and I have to see, is this even going to be functional for my family? And furniture really does do that. It helps to, give you that vision, but also see, is this home functional for my family? And I like to say that. And like for this picture right here, this is a beautiful home in South Tampa. Hardwood floors, just absolutely gorgeous. But that room right there is very oversized living room. It's gorgeous, but a lot of times people will go in and say, I don't need a living room that big, and it may be a turnoff to them because they're used to the cozy, home that they once lived in, etc. And so here we just set it up to where you still see the space in it, but it's also functional with bookcases, a traditional look, but yet contemporary, style here. And this was the dining room that was, connected to it that you could walk through. And typically when you see a large home like this, for example, it was over 5,000 square feet, right? But you see the chandelier, they didn't want to change it out. And I said, okay, but we don't want to go the traditional style because that's not in right now. Yeah. And so we gotta make this contemporary modern look, kind of go and kind of mix it a little bit, just mix it up so that we can bring in maybe some younger, couples walking through and not just turn it down,
Millennials are buying.
Correct, So we want to make sure that we're catering to, the potential buyers out there as well. So that's just an example of, a large room that we would want to, fill up that space, make it look functional, as well as, go with the trends that are out there. Mixing and matching.
Yeah, for sure. Those are two great examples. The room was so big, and then when you fill it with that furniture, it looks like a nice, functional room.
Yes.
But it's not too crowded either.
Yep, that's it. That's it. And so it's big enough for the, when you have guests come over, and it also makes you feel, warm and cozy where you can curl up and, and read a book. Yeah. So, and that's what you want to make sure that, that you want your potential, buyers seeing when they walk in those homes. So, I hope to break the mindsets of those that, think that, it just doesn't work. It's not an investment. It's, it's too much, time, even involvement. Look, we will take care of it all. And I promise you that, that you will definitely see the benefits in staging your home.
Yeah, exactly. And in the days on the market, the opportunity for those buyers, because when you make that first impression, you're not going to get that same buyer back. That first impression is going to be missed.
Yes.
And it's a combination of the furniture, the ambiance that you set, the color scheme, the textures. And you can do a lot, too. Let's say the client's on a budget. Let's say they really very concerned about budget. You can do a lot with just throw rugs and different types of blankets and things like that, right? Pillows.
Yes. In fact, with our company, you don't have to do a full stage. If you just simply needed a partial stage and you wanted to, just basically try this out, like I say, maybe you've never staged a home before, never felt the need to. Well, things change, times change. And I just like to say, we can do the first 3 rooms, when they first walk in. The foyer is very important, whether it be a combo living room, kitchenette. But yeah, at least do a few rooms in the house, if you're looking to, do a partial stage.
Perfect. Yeah, when we come back to it, I want to talk about what's the most important rooms. We're going to talk about that, talk about the flow of the properties. And also, so we got Connor Keller in the house, Insect IQ, Tina Russell, Envisionit Home Staging, and we have a feel-good story of the day for you here as well coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Do not touch that dial. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, and the Consumer Quarterback Show Facebook page. We'll see you right after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. That's our book that I wrote a couple years ago, and the prequel to our business that we launched with Ken Shamrock, the UFC Hall of Famer and WWF, WWE legend. Ken Shamrock is our business partner on a company called the Business Growth Celebrity Academy, where we're teaching entrepreneurs nationwide, worldwide, how to become a celebrity in their own marketplace. Check out bgca.co, bgca.co. This segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort. The official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is the Bilmar Beach Resort on Gulf Boulevard and Treasure Island, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. The Bilmar Beach Resort has been one of the most sought-after destinations in the Treasure Island area for many years. So whether you're planning a quick business trip or maybe a weekend getaway, check out Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They've got 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's restaurant and beach bar. Great opportunity to hang out on the beach with the family, staycation, and let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And the Bilmar Beach Resort also offered a raffle prize for our event coming up on the 27th. We want you to save this date. It's a free event, Tampa Bay's largest speed networking event, Thursday, June 27th, 6 p.m. at the Verizon Center in Largo. Networking, catered food. We got DJs going to be there, bartenders as well, and it's a great time. Come out and network with Tampa Bay's finest at Tampa Bay's largest speed networking event, June 27th, 6 p.m. at the Verizon Center. Now, make sure you save that date and register on eventbrite.com, and we're partying with a purpose here. It's the benefit of the raffle is for the Children's Cancer Center here in Tampa Bay. One of my favorite charities is Children's Cancer Center. And I was afforded the opportunity to MC their Wine, Women, and Shoes event, one of their signature events 3 or 4 years ago. And I've been involved with Children's Cancer Center ever since. They do a great job over there. And a couple of hot listings for this segment. I've got a property at 4449 Mariner Parkway in Newport Richey. This is a waterfront beauty. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car waterfront townhome, 2-car garage, waterfront townhome, 2 boat docks there as well. Gulf Harbors is the neighborhood, and Woodlands neighborhood in Gulf Harbors. Great opportunity, beautiful property here in unit as well. Very spacious at 4449 Marine Parkway, Newport Richey. A hot real estate property listing. Also, 207 Coronado Drive, Clearwater Beach. This is a $3.35 million property that I'm selling, and the property, it's 5,500 square foot lot. So it's a great opportunity for entrepreneurs, builders, developers, right on Clearwater Beach, the number 1 beach in the world. 207 Coronado Drive, across the street from the Wyndham Grand and the Hyatt as well, adjacent to the Hyatt. Beautiful property, great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com for all of our real estate listings. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, we got Connor Keller in the house, Insect IQ, Tina Russell as well, home staging expert contributor, Envisionit Home Staging. We're going back to Connor Keller first here. So Connor Keller, InsectIQ.com, talking about these drywood termites, these different types of, insects that come into the home. They create a lot of damage when it comes to real estate transactions. I've heard it said that termites cause more damage than wind, fire, rain, floods, all that combined.
Right.
Yeah.
And your insurance typically doesn't cover it.
Wow.
Good news is a lot of this is preventable. Subterranean termites specifically you can prevent. Usually drywood termites, you need to be vigilant and do annual inspections. It has a lot to do with the area you live in. They're a coastal tropical termite, so all along the Gulf of Mexico and in the inland areas, downtown Tampa, Hyde Park, St. Pete, all of these 50 to 100-year-old homes that are wood framed, elevated crawl spaces. They all have many conducive conditions that allow drywood termites to get into a home.
Those crawl spaces allow for that more opportunity for them to come in underneath. Yeah.
It's all wood underneath there, and that's how they move from structure to structure. They swarm, and in that flight, they'll land on another structure and burn into the wood and create a new colony.
Right.
Within a few years. Usually it takes 5 to 10 years for that colony to mature enough to actually start swarming.
Yeah.
But sometimes you'll find the damage, and drywood termite damage looks like something just literally took a bite out of the wood, versus subterranean termite damage. You get almost a corrugated effect to the wood. They eat the spring or softwood in between the grain. So they'll leave the summer or winter hardwood or the grain. That's, I've talked about this before. When you cut a tree down, you can count the rings and determine how old it is. Well, the reason that is trees grow quickly in the spring and summer, which is spring wood or softwood, and that's the wood between the rings. And then they slow or go dormant in the winter, and that's when you get that hardwood. And so the difference between the rings and the softwood in between is a 365-day cycle, and that's why you can count the. So I am a walking encyclopedia.
That is interesting. That's the first time I had it broken down like that.
Yeah, that's true though. That's why. But that coincides with why subterranean termites eat that spring wood. So it's important to know that. Yeah. That's the softwood. Now, all our houses are generally concrete, but also pine, all the interior wood, the walls, the trusses, the roofing system. So there's plenty of wood for termites to eat. Right now we're dealing with drywood termites, and I really want to get into treatment options. So you found drywood termites in your home, whether it be during a real estate inspection, a house you've just bought, or a house you've lived in for 20 years. What do you do about it? Unfortunately, most people do nothing and just forget about it. And then, a year, 2, 3 years down the road, that can be a very costly mistake.
Right.
They say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, is that the saying? In this case, it's very true. So drywood termites, let's say you found some frass, maybe a kick-out hole, and that's the hole they're kicking the fecal pellets out of the wall. And one interesting side note is if you find a large debris field of frass, then that hole's probably coming from somewhere up high. It's dropping from a distance and scattering all over the floor. If you find a nice, neat little pile of frass, then the whole kick-out hole's probably right there in that immediate area because it's just piling up.
Right.
So that makes sense too.
Yeah,
right.
It does.
And then we also look for swarming. I keep bringing that up because that's really indicative of live termites in your house. When you've had a house treated, the frass, the kick out, the damage, it doesn't go away unless you tear all that out and replace it. But when termites swarm in your house, there's no doubt that they're alive and doing damage to your house currently.
Yeah.
So, again, what do you do when you find all this? You can, of course, do spot treatments. A lot of companies will recommend coming in and spot treating that area. And that's effective for drywood termites if you know exactly where the colony is and how to get that termiticide to the colony. I often use the analogy, it's like putting a blindfold on and trying to hit the bullseye. If you hit the bullseye, you win. If you hit anywhere else, and hopefully not the wall or the person playing darts next to you, but you lose. It's no good. So that's where tent fumigation comes in, and putting a tent over the house. Vicane is a popular gas that's used now, and there's a lot of misnomers or conspiracies about tent fumigation, and it is a deadly gas, but you have to leave the house during the process. There's a huge margin of error built into it. Generally, it's a 3-day, 2-night process. You take your food and any living item or living things out of the house, including like fish or something like that, would have to be removed. One thing worth pointing out about fumigation, this is becoming very popular in homes now, the spray-in insulation in the attic.
Yeah.
There's been a recent change now. We no longer can fumigate those houses because the gas will not aerate back out of the house. It becomes trapped in those attic spaces.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's something to consider when you're looking at insulation options is, especially, again, if you have a 100-year-old house in Hyde Park, maybe spray foam insulation is not the best option.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Why couldn't they just put big oversized fans in there and blow it out?
Well, it has to do with being able to circulate or creating an equilibrium in the house, and that's end up what they have to do is they have to put the high-speed fans in the attic, cut holes in the foam to the soffit or eave to vent it out.
Yeah.
But the Department of Agriculture is who stepped in and said, hey, we've had some instances where we go in and clear a house and there's still high levels of gas left in the house. Yeah. And this is why. So we're going to, typical government overkill, we're going to stop fumigating any houses that have spray foam insulation.
All right, if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here. We're talking with Connor Keller, insectiq.com. Let's jump into those pictures. We got a few more pictures here I wanted to get to, but there's a nice shot of his website. But so let's. Rob's going to put up the pictures, and we'll just kind of go through each one.
So I'm kind of skipping around a little bit. This was actually in Oldsmar. This was an Africanized honeybee colony. It had been there for some time. As soon as I got near it, you can see it's a double fireplace. I got up to that second fireplace vent, and they just attacked me. I was still 10 or 15 feet away from it.
Wow.
So you can imagine if you were mowing your yard in a single-story house and there was an Africanized colony in that area, they're going to attack you. And if you don't have the correct personal protection equipment, actually, I always say it takes one sting to kill you if you're allergic to it.
Yep.
But you could imagine getting stung 60, 70, or 100 times by honeybees.
Man.
You're not going to be doing very well.
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
So you got to be vigilant of that. This is the colony in the soffit. One thing you can note, there's not a lot of honey present in that comb.
Right.
And that's indicative sign of Africanized honeybees or even hybrid honeybees. They're not very good honey producers. It's all brood, and they're very aggressive in protecting the colony.
Wow. Awesome.
They used a lift to do that. That's one thing Insect IQ really specializes in is those hard to do jobs that other companies can or won't do. We find a way to make it happen. This is a big house in South Tampa right on the bay. We're able to squeeze the lift up there and remove bees from the barrel tile roof.
Wow.
We really specialize this. Here we go. Diamondback rattlesnake. This was in, I was telling you about this earlier. This was in a closet off a classroom in South County. You can imagine coming to school and finding that.
Wow.
Probably wouldn't be a teacher for very long.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So, it's interesting in nature, too, how even ants compete against each other. You have fire ants. Those are red imported fire ants, and they're dragging a crazy ant, alate, or swarmers. And remember, ants are social insects, too. They swarm. That same reproductive behavior they do as well, where they leave the colony and force and start new colonies. This is those same red imported fire ants eating some type of beetle.
Wow.
They're vicious. I don't know if you've ever tangled with red imported fire ants.
Oh,
but
man, they come at you.
They'll attack you.
Yeah.
So we'll get into the last thing I want to talk about is this is a commercial property, a grocery store in Tampa off of McDill. Had a really bad mosquito problem. Mosquitoes were getting in the store, couldn't figure out why. So we did a survey around the property and determined there was all sorts of containers holding water. Mosquitoes were breeding. Larva was present in the water. And then they were hatching out. You can see there, tadpoles actually eating the mosquito larva, which is kind of cool. But the mosquito larvae, the little line, they kind of wiggle around. You've probably seen them in a puddle around your house. But those conditions are what contribute to the mosquito problem. And we were able to determine that just simply the people coming and going and all of that being present at that location was causing the mosquitoes to get inside. So it was an easy resolution.
Yep. Connor Keller, best in the business, Insect IQ, from termites to midges, mosquitoes, bees, and bats, all types of different insects and creepy things. He takes care of them.
If it bugs you, it bugs me. Let me take care of it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so Connor Keller coming back after break. Also, Tina Russell here, Envisionit Home Staging, and we have our lightning round coming up as well as our feel-good story of the day. 4 teens rushed into a burning home to rescue their elderly neighbor. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man, Brandon.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving. The official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Brothers Easy Moving. Whether you're planning a long distance or local move, I can tell you from first-hand experience that Brothers Easy Moving is a first-class operation. They do a great job. They move my family, and they are highly ranked online as well. They've got great reviews online, 4.6 on Google, 4.5 on Yelp, A rating from the Better Business Bureau, and an A rating on Angie's List, and they've also won the Super Service Award multiple times. Big shout out to Brothers Easy Moving. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 13508 Indian Oaks Trail. This property is in Largo, and this is a beautiful family home. It's a larger home close to the beach, and it has a pool in the back. Just a great opportunity on a quiet cul-de-sac dead-end street, and it's a lot of upgrades in this property. 13508 Indian Oaks Trail in Largo. Just a great opportunity to purchase real estate here in beautiful Tampa Bay in Pinellas County. 11540 Shipwatch is another condo that we have. 2-bedroom condo at 11540 Shipwatch Drive, unit number 1391. And it is overlooking a lake with a beautiful view, and it's close to the beach as well. And this community has everything from tennis to restaurants and all types of club events to be involved with. Shipwatch Drive, beautiful properties. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. And every day we're going to tell you something positive here, going against the nonsense in the mainstream media, always delivering a positive message here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Tell me something good. 4 teens rushed into a burning home to rescue their elderly neighbor. Catherine Ritchie, a 90-year-old woman in Tulsa, Oklahoma, was rescued by 4 young heroes after a fire consumed her bedroom and she was unable to escape on her own. The smoke was so bad I couldn't get out of my room, she said. That's where her heroes come in. 4 boys between the ages of 14 and 17 were in a nearby home when they noticed the smell. Nick Bird, 14, managed to get through the back door and ran inside, finding Ritchie in the hall, lost in the smoke, and he helped her to safety while firefighters were able to stop the flames. Ritchie's daughter, Missy Ritchie Nicholas, wrote an open letter thanking the 4 boys, and the letter reads, courageous young men who risked their own lives, their own safety, perhaps their good standing with their parents who might have chosen for them to do otherwise, and carried my mother out of a burning home into the street. Quote, thank you for not allowing this to be a tragic end to our mother's amazing life. Thank you for staying with her, hugging her, and helping her feel less alone until we could get to her. Thank you for being the kind young men who thought about another person's above yourselves. Awesome story. Really cool. Coming to the rescue. That's awesome. I love those feel-good stories there. All right, back here in studio, we got Tina Russell, Envisionit Home Staging, and we wanted to go through, we were talking about if you were to stage and you had a limited budget, or maybe not a limited budget, but which rooms would you prioritize when it comes to staging?
Yes, well, absolutely the foyer. As soon as you walk in the door, it's going to set the stage for the entire home. So you want the ambiance to just be right off the bat. So, making sure that the foyer at least has, a picture, flowers, something to make it feel home, something welcoming. And then you want to move on, and depending on the layout of the home, of course, let's say if it was a living room that you would first see, then I would want to do the living room. Whatever they're going to first see, I would want to do. Because in the living room, typically living room, if you first see it, that's also, going to contribute to the feel of the home and the flow of the home.
Right.
So, but I also, like to make sure I stage the family room, because the family room is where families, reside when they come home. And people need to envision their family there, themselves there. The dog, the cat, the kids, and so it's very important to have the family room staged as well as the kitchen, I like to say. That's kind of like a toss-up. It depends on the client. But I like to say, but the kitchen is really the conversational pieces. It's where, you're building relationships with you and your spouse and your children, or you have your guests over. But you don't have to do every single bedroom. So if any bedroom that I would pick, it would be the master bedroom.
Sure.
Definitely the master bedroom. And, for your potential client to see themselves walking through the home when they come home from work, where they're going to, obviously lay their head down and rest for the night. They want to make sure that they can sleep in that room.
Yep.
And a lot of times, whether the home, has a very large master bedroom, they need to see it like we, discussed earlier. Is this room too big and I got to fit so much, furniture in here? How am I going to do it? Maybe it's wasted space. That's where staging really helps fill it in and, give creativity to it, that we can, just create a sitting area for them or whatever the room, would call for. But, or let's say it's a small room. Maybe they think, their king-size bed isn't going to fit there. Well, we like to go in and show them that it can fit, and, just create a space, even if it looks like there is not a space. So those would be the home or the rooms that I would definitely choose.
Yeah, and the kitchen is definitely the heart of the home.
Yes,
the master bedroom,
absolutely.
That's who's paying for the mortgage.
You better believe it.
So let's take care of them, right?
That's it. Mom and Dad need to know that they're going to like their bedroom. It's very, very important.
Yes.
Absolutely, I agree.
Absolutely. So, the home staging side, Envisionit Home Staging. What's the website again, Tina?
Yeah, it's Envisionit. You spell it with an E, not an I, so it's ENVISION. Homestaging.com.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right, let's jump into our lightning round here.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, here we go. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Let's do ladies first. We'll stay with Tina Russell here.
Yes. I guess my first tip would be that, if you are looking to sell your home and it is going to be priced between, $500,000 and $1 million, I just want to encourage you to go ahead and at least stage a few rooms, especially, if they have very large, whether it be a master bedroom or a very oversized living room, as we just, showed on the show today, to just encourage you to do that so that your potential buyer can walk in the home and feel at home, and not, automatically give it a negative, because they may think that room is, simply too big.
Yep, I like that. Connor Keller, Insect IQ. Top tips.
Top tips. Get an annual termite inspection. That's probably the single biggest thing I could suggest. And people, like I said, usually wait until they have termites pouring out of their wall to do something about it.
Yeah.
They're completely preventable. At Insect IQ, we provide expert pest management services. The consumers are our number one concern. That's why we're here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, actually.
Yeah.
And I'd like to offer your listeners, first of all, free termite inspection if they call and mention the Consumer Quarterback Show, but also $100 off any new service, a termite treatment, mosquito abatement, whatever you guys need, I'll take care of it.
I like that. And you got the bundle, too. You're telling people to bundle up this time of year.
Well, you bundle savings. It's just like the telephone and cable companies do. The more you bundle together, the more savings you have, and we can bundle anything.
I like that. So the consumer hotline is 813-670-7372. If you're interested in home staging or the Insect IQ offer, just reach out, 813-670-7372. And Connor Keller, InsectIQ.com, is going to offer you $100 off any new customer with any packages. And I do the bundle at home. You got to have the bundle in place, especially when you're on a lake like I am. Mosquitoes, midges, they're
attacking. It keeps you warm in the wintertime, too. So
Yeah. There you go. So, hey, another great show. Connor Keller, InsectIQ.com. Tina Russell, Envisionit Home Staging, and we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, hand it to that person that you see in need, donate some blood. There's lots of ways that you can be a force for good in the community. Donate your time, donate, of course, and see us at our event. We'd love to have you at our event on the 27th, and you can be involved with Children's Cancer Center if you have something that you want to donate to the raffle. We would love to see you there. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. The Consumer Quarterback Show pages on Facebook. Hit me up on LinkedIn as well. Love to connect on LinkedIn. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.